Children, adolescents, and young people desire to discover something new, previously unknown, to assert themselves in innovative activities. The younger generation is naturally characterized by increased activity, which manifests in the negative, relatively high criminalization, drug addiction, sexual deviation, and positive, artistic, technical, scientific creativity, manifestations of deviance. The paper aims to deduce the relationship between education and juvenile delinquency and find methods to reduce or prevent the young generation's criminal activity. The education institution's impact. The school and community organizations include an obligation to assist the school in adjusting to the needs of the child so that he or she can create self-esteem, self-confidence, and a consoling introduction towards life. School is linked to juvenile delinquency in 3 ways. It can lead to crime, help prevent crime, and deal with criminal behavior within its walls. Thus, schools are central to all institutions that influence children's ideas and activities. There are many reasons for juvenile delinquency, but economists emphasize the dependence of crime on education. Raising the level of schooling primarily affects the level of income both present and, which is especially essential, the future. A higher level of legal income reduces criminal earnings attractiveness, such as income from theft or robbery. Besides, the loss of profits from unearned future revenues while in prison increases. There is little preventive scholarly work in educational institutions, there is no work with parents, and the internal regulations of educational institutions are not observed. In all educational institutions, a ban has been introduced to students wearing individual objects, but this is not respected. Therefore, education has an indirect effect on the potential crime rate. Teachers as an incubator for prevention the criminal activity. Almost every teacher is faced with the responsibility of dealing with an inadequate or delinquent child. The average teacher can do to enable ill-adapted children to develop, realize the significance of civic duty, create excellent social relations, and procure a degree of financial competence. According to Theimann, a positive student-teacher relationship is associated with a lower likelihood of delinquent and deviant student behavior. Since the interpersonal relationship between teachers and students plays a vital role in assisting ill-adapted children, the average teacher's personality is essential. Socio-emotional skills training. Although there was an adequately trained teacher in each class, there will still be cases of behavioral problems and delinquency in children that teachers will need professionals. Many teachers now working in schools need much more than help solving a few severe behavior problems. They need on-the-job training in teaching and counseling children and in methods of working with groups because they were not adequately prepared for the work of raising children. Thus, the services of an individual school complement and encourage the work of the customary instructor to make a fundamental commitment to the school's endeavor to solve delinquency. In many cases, schools and teachers focus only on the academic performances of students. According to Perdana, instruction in Indonesia is still centered on a cognitive perspective, whereas the attitude toward delicate abilities or non-scholastic, which is the most important component of character instruction so distant, still gets less consideration. However, specialized administrations are characterized as the services of those offices, bureaus, divisions within the school framework that give coordinate help to students. Such school organizations are staffed by pediatricians, school social specialists, therapists, school guests, psychologists, and attendance monitors. Children's instructive divisions and mental bureaus offer assistance with issues emerging from learning challenges, identity issues, and family maladjustment. The school psychologist is especially concerned about adjusting the educational modules to issue children's mental capacities and educating strategies to encourage learning. All of these administrations complement and support the curriculum and activities in the regular lesson. Law-related education. In preventing and reducing juvenile delinquency, schools must adhere to the rule of law in providing moral education so that they can work together. As Niţă and Grădinaru state, moral character development of children and young people is the utmost priority of any educational process, for morality is a prerequisite for the development of civilization. First, schools must integrate legal knowledge into the school's moral teaching and develop a clear and informed legal education plan. In specific learning activities, the unhealthy disposition and psychological conflicts associated with minors can be integrated with legal knowledge. On this basis, a law class can be opened to provide students with a legal education to resist students' various temptations. Secondly, they need to develop several ways to disseminate the legal system for raising minors. Schools can make full utilization of exercises like one legal theme per day, one legitimate story per week to energize minors to take an interest in illegal activities and to cultivate mindfulness of crime prevention. Therefore, in the process of introducing legal education, schools must clearly protect rights and then effectively protect the legitimate rights and interests of children. Conclusion. The level of juvenile delinquency is influenced not only by the education and state of law enforcement agencies. However, one of the most potent measures to reduce juvenile delinquency and future delinquency is education. In other words, the work of teachers in educational practice and their relationship with students, the intervention of specialists, and teaching in the field of law, reduce the incentives to commit crimes in adolescence. Soft control measures generate significantly higher long-term income for society. Everything you need for studies, essay samples, writing tools, and tips, you can find at studycorgi.com.